The Battle of the Church is underway. Well, not being able to tell who's really friend and foe. You could have said it was just that leader's words and no real evidence. Until one of those nuns got a little upset. But with Ursula's life potentially on the line, there's kind of a lot at stake here. Shall we see what Toma can do about it? You see, that's kind of a cool weapon though, where you're exploding the wooden wheel and then have the fragments return back and reconstitute your weapon. But you do have to wait for it to recharge each time. You didn't do a good enough job here. You let your anger take hold. Yep, it does lead some credence to what he was saying, let's be honest. So, if Oslo has been taken by the other church, and they actually managed to find them, what exactly do you think they can achieve? Granted, they were taken by surprise at the minute, but he did sustain a little bit of injury. And we find out what's going on with Kanzaki. And will he be subjected to any more teeth marks and biting at the end of this? Could have been a nice neighbourhood around here. Understandable. So they have to find reason. However, yeah, there's a loophole. Right. Okay. And they're gonna keep pushing until they can be justified. Yep, that sounds like a lot of witch burning bullshit. Well, yes. He would attempt that if he could. So even though Star might be hesitant, So there's someone else at least a little reckless. Though, walking down the streets with a big weapon like that, is there no police just gonna stop him? Where is it? It's probably less about expensive and more what it means. And now the long walk home. You're well, yeah. Not only a quarrel between magicians, but countries, churches. It's a lot bigger than him at the minute. I doubt this is going to be something that he it sits well with him. He's going to do nothing about. Are you finding a reason to split off? So, by piecing together small bits, fragments of information he gained already, there could be a chance that's where they're holding her. Yeah, this is a fair trial. If you're expecting her to be completely eloquent in this kind of situation, it's funny how it's like, oh, we're doing this with by the grace of God, and yet you find all the loopholes and ways around the rules in place. Just so you can be justified. Oh, under the law, it's perfectly reasonable. So, it, the fact that she can actually wear a smile in a situation like that. You might want to be careful with your words here. However, it's quite a pessimistic outlook. You know, not really lying down and taking it. You gotta give her credit for that. Well, she's lying down taking it, but... I doubt her words are gonna get very far with this crowd, but... That's a rather recognisable sound. Less breached, more removed. A one-man organisation of idiots. He has no reason to explain himself to you. He is a bystander caught up in trouble. The thing is, there are probably several organisations or whatnot that aren't affiliated in a... So what, everyone else that just stood around and let that happen? He may be alone, but I doubt that's going to stay that way for long. Greetings. So him saying that, you know, there's nothing to be involved in here. Has he found a rule around it? So now that she is under the jurisdiction of the Church of England, it's no longer under the grounds of just the Roman Catholic Church. Interesting. They don't have the authority to declare what happens to her. And if should they learn of what's been going on? And the power that they wielded a few moments ago has eroded very quickly. So now they know of the situation as well. That is most of this show, watching stupid people being dumb. You see, now the warning that they gave about not having an all-out war has been switched, isn't it? And that's the Roman Catholic Church that need to be worried about it. Maybe not. Good block. It's an old guy with glasses. I don't think he's ready for this battle. Who could... Okay, fancy, but kind of unnecessary. Skilled. You've trained them well. Why is he just standing around? So she doesn't have to hold any ill feelings towards her old church. A quite useful bit of exposition. So her previous guidance worked well. The fact that she can be like an independent contractor type thing now. The imagery of them chasing with burning torches. What kind of leap was that? He gained some air. Ah. You know, fighting on rooftops probably isn't the like, doesn't have the best of footing. Wow. That kid has some agility. Doesn't even have to look. Just swipes them away. I see. Actually seeing Index in action, but ah, yeah. Let's not bring up contradictions in holy text, but so rather than Esper abilities or magic, she just points out flaws in their understanding through song. You don't want to reveal your hand too early. Can you expand the area? It seems only some of them are affected. And what happens if the top brass was to hear the song? What happens to them? I mean, do you really expect her to be out there fighting? Well, you don't have any of your forces gathering intel for you, so who knows? It could be completely unrelated. And she was leaving herself undefended. It is the will of God. Ooh. No matter how you look at it. Oh, they are prepared to die, so they are completely fervent fountain pens? They can't hear the song if they don't have eardrums. Okay, that's the power of zealotry. They are now deaf to the ills of their teachings. I feel like that that could refer to many different people there, just without the fountain pen aspect. The symbology of it, though. And the fact that they have to close themselves off from the outside world to carry on with their faith. Yep, it is. It's got a solid foundation there. But Toma being in the middle of this, even if the gets out of it in happy days, you've still angered an entire church, unless those that have committed the acts today get discommunicated. And Kanzaki's standing there, watching over the entire scene. Hopefully, at the end of all this, they look across the carnage and see, actually, there wasn't any real injuries or losses, unlike what we saw with the fighting the giant tentacle monster thing. They've gotten a lot better. But so many times during that episode, I had to remind myself I'm watching Index here and not listening to Kagura from Gintama. It was enjoyable, also slightly hard to ignore. But just remember, this is Index just through singing. Imagine if her alter side had to take over and go a bit haywire. But we have to admit, Toma is, he's got some good cardio work. He's been running a lot. But this episode actually had quite a few somewhat impressive moments of animation, fight sequences, sound effects. But yeah, handing off that necklace there was a stroke of accidental genius. Allowing Style to step in and the Church of England to be informed and maybe take action. But there leaves the episode of Index. Kind of at a crucial moment. But why rush things? If you enjoyed this one, let me know down below. Maybe even subscribe so you don't miss out in the future. Although I may have developed an irrational fear of fountain pens. Get some rest though. So I can see you in the next one. If you don't want to find yourself in the middle of a holy crusade, why not join onto my Patreon instead and we can just watch some anime? So, I need to thank Sal, Raywin, Electrican, Darthia, Noku, Shiwan, Mecha, Jennifer Rojas, Stinsfire, Big Boy, Matt, Rasmus Paulson, Girly, Denim1997, ASD, Dark Show 7899, and everyone else. Because they have managed to allow me to stock up on many a magical device and holy armament. I can't say any of it would be very effective, but hey, at least it looks cool.